Now, if you logged into social media around February 3rd, you probably noticed that Kim Seon-ho's Instagram comment section looked less like a normal celebrity post and more like a group therapy session mixed with a fan rally. As of that morning, messages were pouring in nonstop. Fans telling him not to listen to false rumors, fans promising they'll support him no matter what, fans saying ignore the noise, stay strong, please eat your meals, don't shrink yourself. And that last one really sticks because that's not something you say unless you're genuinely worried about someone's mental state. What really caught people's attention was how global it was. Korean, English, Japanese, Chinese, Spanish, you name it. It was like the United Nations of emotional support had assembled in his comment section. And depending on who you ask, that was either incredibly touching or deeply disturbing. Because while fans were sending love, encouragement, and virtual hugs, another group of people were staring at those comments like, are we reading the same news? So let's rewind a bit and talk about why this even started. On February 1st, reports came out accusing Kim Seon-ho of setting up a separate corporation back in January 2024. According to these accusations, the company was registered under his home address in Yongsan-gu, supposedly for performance planning purposes. His parents were listed as internal director and auditor. The claim was that this structure was used to reduce tax burdens. On top of that, there were allegations that he paid his parents' salaries ranging from several million to tens of millions of won, and that corporate credit cards were used for personal living expenses and entertainment. And then, because one controversy is never enough, it was also pointed out that this one-person company wasn't registered as a certified entertainment management agency, which added fuel to the fire. Suddenly, what might have been a boring accounting discussion turned into headlines screaming tax avoidance, tax evasion, and later, even the phrase tax laundering started getting thrown around. Now, here's where things get messy. Because within hours of the backlash growing, Fantagio, his current agency, came out swinging with a very firm denial. They stated that Kim Seon-ho is currently active under an exclusive contract signed in his personal capacity with Fantagio, and that all legal and tax-related procedures connected to his current contracts and activities are being faithfully observed. According to them, the one-person corporation mentioned in the reports was established solely for theater production and related activities, and was never intended for deliberate tax avoidance or evasion. They also added that since Kim Seon-ho transferred to Fantagio, that corporation hasn't actually been doing any business for over a year and is now in the process of being shut down according to the law. So at this point, you've got two very different narratives floating around at the same time. On one side, allegations of deliberate income diversion, unregistered businesses, and exploiting tax loopholes. On the other side, an agency insisting everything was legal, inactive, and misunderstood. And in the middle of all that, fans. Back to Instagram. The comments. The emotional speeches. The promises of loyalty. Lines like, I'll always protect you, and I'll always be on your side, and I believe in you, Mr. Papago. Which honestly sounds cute until you realize how intense it comes across to people outside the fandom. Some fans wrote long paragraphs about how they just want him to act happily without worry, how he's a treasure of an actor, how they want to watch his performances for a long, long time. And again, depending on your perspective, that's either heartwarming devotion or completely over-the-top behavior. Korean netizens, especially on forums and comment sections, did not hold back. Words like crazy, pick-me fans, and even disgusting were thrown around freely. People questioned what kind of charm he even has to inspire this level of defense. Others said the fans don't actually care about the controversy at all, and that even if you told them to ignore it, they would have done so anyway. And that's where the divide becomes painfully obvious. This isn't just about taxes anymore. It's about how people relate to celebrities, how fandom culture works, and how quickly public opinion splits into emotional extremes. While all this was happening online, another question started getting louder and louder. What about his work? Because scandals don't exist in a vacuum. They collide directly with schedules, contracts, investors, and release dates. First up, his stage play Secret Passage, set to open on February 13th. Interestingly enough, all performance dates featuring Kim Seon Ho sold out early, before the allegations even surfaced. When asked about changes, the production team was very calm about it. They basically said, "We're proceeding as planned, no special changes." That alone tells you something. Theater audiences tend to be very particular, and the fact that there was no immediate cancellation speaks volumes about public interest, or at least ticket holder commitment. Then there's Unfriend, a drama that's already completed filming. This one got confusing fast. It was rumored to be released on TVing, but TVing clarified that it's not one of their original productions. They also said no decision has been made regarding its release. So now it's just floating. Finished, but homeless. Disney Plus's Portraits of Delusion is another one. It's in the final stages of filming, but Disney Plus says the release schedule hasn't been confirmed yet. Basically, we'll let you know when we know. And meanwhile, Netflix's Can This Love Be Translated is currently airing, with Kim Seon Ho as one of the main stars. So viewers are watching him on screen while simultaneously reading headlines about alleged tax evasion. Talk about cognitive dissonance. As if that wasn't enough, things escalated again when reports confirmed that Kim Seon Ho had received settlement money through a one-person corporation called SH Doe, which was established in January 2024 while he was still under his previous agency. Here's where the legal language gets scary for regular people. If income is recorded as personal income, it can be taxed up to 49.5%. If it's treated as corporate income, the tax rate can be as low as 19%. That difference is huge, and that's why some critics aren't calling this tax avoidance anymore, but outright tax evasion. An official from his former agency even stated that they deposited the money into the account as the actor requested, which, on paper, doesn't look great. Legal experts started weighing in, saying that income diversion through unregistered corporations undermines transparent accounting and tax management, and that thorough investigations are needed to stop high-income celebrities from exploiting institutional loopholes. His failure to register as a popular culture and arts planning business was also highlighted as a serious issue. Fantagio responded again, stating that it is true they temporarily received settlement money after the establishment of the corporation. Which, depending on how you read it, either sounds like transparency or like opening another can of worms. So where does that leave us? On one side, you have fans who see Kim Seon Ho as a hardworking actor who's been through public hell before and doesn't deserve another round of online destruction. They worry about his health, his mental state, his future. They show up loudly, emotionally, and unapologetically. On the other side, you have people who believe accountability matters more than feelings, especially when it comes to taxes, fairness, and celebrities who earn more in a year than most people will in a lifetime. To them, the fan reactions feel blind, excessive, and even harmful. And somewhere in the middle is the reality that we, the public, don't yet have a final legal conclusion. Allegations are being investigated. Statements have been made. Experts have opinions, but no definitive judgment has been handed down. So maybe the real question isn't just whether Kim Seon Ho is guilty or innocent. Maybe it's how quickly we rush to either defend or destroy someone based on incomplete information. How fandom can become both a source of comfort and a shield against criticism. And how scandals in the entertainment world are never just about the facts, but about emotions, identity, and loyalty. At the end of the day, this story is still unfolding. Projects are still undecided. Investigations may continue. Public opinion will keep swinging like a pendulum. So what do you think? Are the fans being supportive, or are they crossing a line? Is this a misunderstanding blown out of proportion, or a serious issue that deserves scrutiny? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for hanging out with me through this very messy, very human story. If you found this video informative, thought-provoking, or at least a little entertaining, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.